Welcome to Smackie's Garage. Today we're going to be installing our Airaid intake system on our 2018 F-150. Now I've been looking for a cold air intake for my truck for a little bit. Now I found this one from Airaid, which has a lifetime warranty, which is great. It looks like it fits exactly what I want. It looked like it was high quality. We're going to go through, we're going to look at everything, we're going to install it on the truck. We're going to see how it performs and see how it sounds compared to stock. I was looking for something that makes a little bit more noise than stock and something that gives a good amount of performance boost if possible. I know in general, cold air intakes don't really create that much of a performance boost, but we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna drive it around. We're gonna see how much of a difference it makes and if I can notice anything. All right, so let's go ahead, let's start taking this out of the box and look at what came in this package. Now in the box we have a gigantic air box, the air intake from the front of the truck, the tube that's gonna go to the intake manifold or to the throttle body. Then we have a bunch of different adapters, which I'm guessing are used to make sure that everything is connecting together. And it also comes with this lid here, which I gotta peel off, but you know, this lid here allows you to run it sucking cold air from the outside or to run it a little bit louder on the inside with this not on there. So this will expose the air filter element to essentially the engine bay. It'll make you hotter, but there'll be more sound. And a giant filter. What this also comes with is a good set of instructions of how it's going to go together. And it also comes with an Airaid sticker and then a CARB EO number or CARB EO sticker for the vehicle or for the airbox. So let's go ahead and let's start putting this together. Now the diagram on this is really simple and shows pretty much where everything goes. So it should be pretty easy to set up as long as all the holes and everything line up where they should. Famous last words. Looks like we have some work to do. All right, so on the filter box assembly, the first thing I need to do is I need to mount this here with these 3 screws and holes. Now, no matter how I line them up, I cannot get these screws to all line up at the same time. So no matter which way that I rotate it, how I'm looking at it, they're just not lining up. I'm gonna need to drill these out a little bit bigger to make this work. Okay, so I ended up drilling them all out with a 5/16 drill bit, and I was able to get them to where I wanted them to be. So now everything is completely flat on this, and it's sitting where it should be. So now that this is on, I can move on to the next step. So it comes with 3 grommets. I have the 1/2 inch, 5/8, 13/16. So this takes the 5/8, so the middle one, and you stick it in here. And then we're gonna snap the new air scoop in place. These screws line up better than the other ones, so we're good. Now these ones are getting secured on using the washer. So I'm gonna do flat screw, lock washer, then washer. If you need to know, it's a 3/32 Allen wrench. Now the holes do have some flashing in them, so it is gonna make them tough to get the screws started unless you drill it out or you can push it out. Probably should have cleaned it out beforehand, but this seems to be going in okay. Now both screw and washer are in place. They went in, I didn't have to drill or modify anything. I did realize that I don't know if I lost it, but I lost, I think, the number 4 washer that goes with this. So I need to pick up another one next time I go to the hardware store. Now moving on to this tube, I'm gonna put the 2 grommets in here. So there's the smaller one and a larger one. It's pretty clear which one goes into which hole. Then I have these 2 pieces here that are gonna just directly drop in. So they go with this end in so that it's secure in place in the grommet. So it'll look like that when it is complete. Now on the 5 liter, we're gonna have to remove this air box here. So there's a 13mm screw over there that we're gonna take off. And then this, we should be able to take off. There's hose clamp here. I'm gonna take this off because it'll make it easier. Just make sure that the engine's not hot because you don't want any coolant coming out and you're burning yourself. And then there's one clamp on the throttle body. And then on the other side over here, we do need to take these clips off. And to do these, you just push on one side and then you can just pull it off. So we're gonna do those probably last. So first, let's take the air cleaner and air box out. So this will be a 7mm. Also, I'm running low on coolant now. So that's something I'm gonna be stopping to pick up. And these clips I'm just gonna pop up using a screwdriver. about time I clean this out anyway. Now to take this off, all you have to do is push down on this back clip and then work its way off and it'll come off. So to get this one out, all I had to do was pull this out and up, and then I was able to slide it by. So that made it easy to get everything off and apart. So now that I have everything apart, we can go ahead and take this out and then drop the new airbox in. All right, so this just dropped in. These two just sit on the bottom. They don't clip in like the last one did. Then we have the screw that's gonna go in here, and then two new clips that are gonna hold this in place. Now I'll use the same hardware to put that in to screw that back into place there. This is in, these clips should be as easy as just push in the bottom piece first, and then you push in the top piece next. But that's gonna be a two-handed operation. I'm not gonna be able to do it here with one hand. And then these hoses should just clip back into place. So there's a larger one. This large one's gonna go, shorter one's gonna go here. And this larger one has an elbow, which is gonna need to be changed to make this work. So if you get in a situation like this and you're at a 90 degree, they have a different setup to be able to make this work. They give you some extra parts. So we gotta figure out how to make those extra parts work then. Okay, so in this package, you're supposed to replace this with a second hose or another hose, which is right there. So I do have these pieces. I do have this, but I don't actually have the hose. The one that they showed in the picture just wasn't in the container. It is a 5/8 ID by 9-inch long hose. So luckily I do have plenty of hose here so that I can make one up. But I've been checking the box, checking the packaging. I just don't have it. All right, so I cut it to the dimensions that they recommended or they had in the document. So 5/8, this is heater hose, that's all I had available. So 5/8 by 9, this end goes on the valve cover, this end goes to the intake. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on now. So the 5/8 by 9 hose that they said to cut and to use just is too short. So I'm gonna need to cut one longer. But there it is. You have your 5/8 by 9 hose connected. It's probably like 2 inches too short, 3 inches too short. All right, now the right way to do it. So I have this kind of where it should be. This is here now. So now I can see exactly where I need to cut it. I need to cut it probably right about here. Cut. Now let's take it off and measure it. So end to end, just looking at the hose, we're probably just over 11 inches. Now we're gonna go ahead and drop the air filter in. So it did take a little bit of damage in shipping, but nothing too bad. So I'm gonna go ahead, drop that in there and just connect it. I think I might be able to have it the other way. Okay, so it took a little bit longer than expected, but everything seems to be together now. These are all tight. I have that back on for the coolant. Those hoses are pushed in and connected hard. So the line I had to make is right there. So that's going directly from the crankcase. So I think it's a vent back up to the intake. So that's all set. This is in place. Now we can start it up. Now leaning over it, it makes a massive air intake sound. All right, now that we have this installed, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go for a car ride, see if it's any louder. So one of the first things that I noticed is just normal driving sounds pretty much stock. It's not really that much louder. You don't really start hearing it until you step on the gas. Now stepping on the gas, the engine's actually significantly louder. So you can hear a lot more intake noise with it when you're not running the airbox cover. When you're running the airbox cover on it, it's not as loud. I really do like the way that the intake makes the truck sound and the engine sound. Sound like it made the exhaust a little bit louder, but not by much. I think most of the sound's coming directly from the intake. I'm actually kind of shocked at how much extra noise this added to the engine. So the final verdict on it is I really like it. You know, the install went smooth. There's some small things that I had to do. I'm really excited that it added a little bit more exhaust note or intake note to the truck. I was actually shocked at how much more it added. I definitely wasn't expecting that much from just doing the cold air intake. You know, it's something that I was looking for. I didn't want to make the truck too loud. I didn't want to do a full exhaust on it. I thought this is a good compromise, and it ended up being it worked out. So, very happy with it. Thanks for tuning into Smacky's Garage this week. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.